Haig Partners, and this time I have the legend, the Alan Haig, our president and founder. Alan, thank you for joining me. I thank you for having this event today and getting all these fantastic speakers here. And I want to ask you, what was the inspiration for the event?
I go to a lot of conferences around the country, and most conferences are about making more money. I spend a lot of time with our clients talking about their objectives, and sometimes it's about money, but I think often it's about they're ready to do something different with their lives. They're ready to make a change that they think will improve their lives. We talk a lot about their families, their kids that are in the business or not in the business, their health, their spouse's health, etc. And so I began to think that all of us in this industry, we're all in a family together in this industry, would benefit from having some conversations that weren't just about making more money, but really about how to have a better life. I mean, the theme of our conference is family, prosperity, and legacy. And in the morning, we had a session on mental health, and I learned that I believe it's 20% of people at some point suffer from depression. One of our guest speakers today had a brother who took his life, sadly, and no one knew that he was mentally ill or depressed. So we had the organization Be Nice come in and train us, educate us on what we can do if we notice that somebody's not feeling well. And I don't know how often that happens in people's lives, but those of us who attend now know what to do, and maybe we can help someone. The session we had on succession planning, I thought was amazing. We had 3 families come and share their journey, positive and sometimes challenging, on how the kids enter the business, the rules that parents established for their presence, for their success, the communication that's necessary for a succession to happen, the love that needs to exist between the fathers, it's always the dads, it seems like they own these stores, and the kids. Hopefully there'll be more women entering, but still mostly now it's men. The countless hours that the families consider, how do you make this successful transition? What happens with the people who are not part of the operating company but are in different businesses, different families? How do you treat them, et cetera?
And we heard some raw conversation about that too.
Yes. So it's really the wonderful thing about automotive retail is it's still essentially a family industry, family business. And we can talk about automotive cars and business plans, et cetera. But at the end of the day, it's individuals that are making these decisions and living these lives. So I was really grateful that these 3 families came and shared their journeys, which are still all ongoing, about how they've done it, what they would do differently, what would do the same. Also grateful that we had one of our former clients, Jack Saltzman, talk about his journey and how he and his wife, Robin, decided to sell the business, what they're doing with their lives afterwards, the charitable foundation that she started to help pass some of the wealth they've generated on to folks that really need it. And also the new journey that Jack's embarking to build a different career, really kind of in the entertainment business. He's going to be the pickleball king. I'm betting on it. We had...
You heard it here first, folks. Alan Haig's betting on pickleball.
And we had Jeffrey Thomason coming from Oxford Financial to share how his firm helps families to preserve, invest wealth, not so much for their own purposes, but really for their grandchildren and their grandchildren's kids. And then we also really enjoyed a session with Bob Dennison talking about what's going on in yachting, how yachting is becoming more inclusive of different folks and less snooty, I would say, more approachable, and finished with really a fantastic session with Captain Sandy, who shared her journey through physical and mental health challenges, overcame probably sexism in the workplace to become one of the leading super yacht captains in the world. And her management style, which I have noticed on television, is really more about explaining what the desired behavior is. When there's an issue, she steps in, identifies what the matter is, explains why it's important, how it should be done, and that she has confidence he'll do it better the next time. And that management style, I think, is one that a lot of dealers in the room recognize and try to emulate as well. So it was a great day, I would say, in terms of lessons in leadership, lessons in how families can work together and still love each other and want the best for each other. and then maybe how to enjoy the fruits of their labors through investments and also enjoying yachting and spending time together.
And as we're sitting here talking, we've got tenders going back and forth, courtesy of Dennison Yachting over to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. So I don't want to keep you too long because I know we want to get you over looking at some yachts. But I think the key takeaway, talking with a few different people today, key takeaway here today was communication, self-awareness, emotional awareness. And that followed through not only the mental health panel earlier this morning with Christy Buck and Jeff Elhart, but all the way through the succession panel, finance, what to do with the money. But then Captain Sandy hit on it as well. So she doesn't know it. I told her team, like, she rounded out the day. She connected the end of the day to the beginning of the day, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes, really, really happy that she was able to join us and share some of her life lessons, because as you said, it did complement those we heard from other people. So I think I'm looking forward to getting on that tender and having my blood pressure drop a little bit, get a drink in my hand, the wind in my, my hairs, what's left of them, and enjoy a nice dinner to end up the day.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Brett Morgan when we closed out his podcast, and he had to think on it a little bit. So don't feel pressure if you don't have an immediate answer. But if you were a car, what would it be?
If I were a car, what would it be? Well, my first car was a Cadillac Eldorado convertible, which was a lot of fun, but man, did it break down and suck down the gas. My current car, the only car I own right now, is a 1966 Corvette convertible, but my wife doesn't like to ride in it because it's too loud and too windy. So I would say at this point in my life, something that I think is fun, you look forward to getting in and driving. I don't know.
Brett did the same thing. Brett did the same thing.
I don't know. There are too many choices. We like different flavors, I guess. But if I could choose one car to drive one day a week as a real joy, it might be a 1960s Ferrari. Yeah, that could probably be it.
What color?
Rosso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, everybody, from Alan Haig himself. Thank you, Alan, and of course, our entire team at Haig Partners for putting this event on, and I'm looking forward to a fantastic one next year.
Thank you.